In honor of the rerun of Ending a Grand Overture, here's a clear of H11-2, because screw Alistair and his RNG equipment drops. Chapter 11 introduces the Rot Tree mechanic, which spawns stronger enemies the later you kill them. Typically, as long as you open up the trees before the last regular enemy is dead, they're generally pretty manageable. This introduces an interesting dilemma. Taking on the rot trees early makes your opener more difficult, while leaving them for later increases the damage and healing output you need to deal with them. The boss stage makes the decision a bit easier though, since if you have the damage to burst down the boss, the rot eaters probably aren't going to be a problem for you. Originally, I wanted to do this stage so I could use Noircorn. This boss's Haymaker attack deals 3 instances of high physical damage, which Noircorn can ignore thanks to his invulnerability frames. Unfortunately, once the boss starts flying and launching down arts attacks from the sky, Noircorn's self-healing isn't enough to sustain him. And with his massive 3700 max HP, I'd really have to go out of my way to keep the boss's arts barrage off of him. So, instead, we get to watch Bison tank the boss. Yippee! Bison alone isn't enough to tank the boss's Haymaker though. And since his skill cycle doesn't line up with the boss's attacks, we need to build our team assuming he'll get hit off skill. Even with his module and talent, the boss does 146% of Bison's max HP off skill. My Bison is E2 level 50. However, since the attack is a physical multi-hit attack, defense and attack reducers are triply effective. So we have a few tools to blunt the impact of the boss's Haymaker. Tin Man's Enfeeble alone is enough to make the attack survivable, increasing Bison's effective HP by over 70%. My Tin Man's S1 is only Mastery 1. But alone, he causes the Haymaker to deal 86% of Bison's max HP, which is still pretty scary. Matsukiri's 30% HP buff unsurprisingly increases Bison's effective HP by 30%. Alone, it's not enough to keep Bison alive, but combined with Tin Man results in the Haymaker dealing about 66% of Bison's max HP. The other operator I played around with is Bryophyta, but his skill timings don't line up well with Bison's or the boss's attacks, so he can only reliably offer a 19% increase in defense, a measly 12% increase in effective HP. So he ended up getting cut from the run. So, with all the math out of the way, once we have a relatively stable stall for the boss, the strategy revolves around taking out 1 or 2 rot trees at a time. Seiza and Mr. Nothing are used here to crack open the trees, while Tequila is used to deal with the rot eaters that they spawn, as well as the regular enemies. Of all the pseudo fast redeploy operators I have, I picked up Mr. Nothing, since he can inflict attack speed reduction, which reduces the healing requirements in the last part of the fight. In theory, I shouldn't need it, and Figurino's extended range would probably be more useful for taking out one of the trees on the right, but I rarely get to use Mr. Nothing nowadays, and it is kinda nice being able to just zoom through the last part of the fight, without having to worry as much about skill activations. Everything else is fairly self-explanatory. Noelle is here for healing, and Baseline is here to help Bison tank the aerial arts barrages. That's all I have to say about this clear. Thanks for watching.
You even managed to anticipate their ambush, Doctor. I guess there's no shame in them losing like that. I still have much to learn.